Today I want to talk about having good meetings with your customers. So if the prospect of a customer calling you up saying, we need to have a meeting, sometimes makes you nervous or anxious or you're not quite sure what to do, then stick around. I'm sure this video can help. Hi, I'm Matthew, and I make content for people with a growth mindset who want to succeed in their career and business. So if that's you, then please subscribe to the channel. So without any further ado, let's have a chat about customer meetings. I think the first thing you need to be able to identify is when a meeting with your customer is necessary. Generally, we communicate with our customers in a number of ways, via email, via telephone, informal interactions where we're either on our customer's premises or our customer is on our premises. So one of the first signs that it might be necessary for you to have a meeting with your customer is that there is a general disconnect. So there's a lot of issues around service or product or quality, and it's just not being resolved through the traditional phone, email, and so we call them first line communication channels. The second reason why it can become necessary to have a meeting is when multiple individuals, either within the customer's organization or within your organization, need to be involved to contribute to the issue. So a good example of this is there is an upcoming project. So various individuals within the organization need to understand their part and need to be able to contribute towards the planning process. Another obvious sign that a meeting is necessary is that a decision of some sort is required on a significant issue. Okay, so somebody needs to give input on, do we go forward doing it this way or do we go forward doing that way? Do we procure this type of material or do we procure that type of material? Sometimes the merits of those decisions need to be discussed, expert opinions need to be given, concerns need to be voiced, and then a joint outcome needs to be agreed. Okay, so now we've successfully identified that a meeting is necessary. The next important step is that we prepare properly with the desired outcome. Remember, a meeting is not just a chat. There's a lot of wasted time in meetings with your customers where you just sit, have a cup of coffee and have a chat. Yes, that does have some benefit because it plays a nurturing role in the relationship and it gives the relationship a little bit of nourishment. But a meeting where there is no real outcome or purpose is not really beneficial to either party. So when you do have a meeting with a customer, make sure you prepare for the meeting with the desired outcome. In other words, I need confirmation that we are going to use this material on this project, as an example. Sometimes a customer will call a meeting, and this is important because when a customer is calling a meeting, it's either they have a problem or it is an information sharing session. And both require you to understand who the attendees are from the customer so that we, as the supplier, send the correct attendees from our organization. Okay, so if it is a customer meeting with a wide variety of attendees around sales, around production, around quality, around safety, then we need to make sure that we have adequate representation in these areas so that everybody can have their component of the agenda or the portfolio covered in the session. To make this work effectively, we need to make sure that the levels within the organization align. Now, an obvious example of this is if the CEO of your customer is going to be present at the meeting, then your CEO needs to be present at the meeting. Okay? It's not always going to be obvious based on titles how we align the levels. So my advice here is to always understand the difference between who the influencers are within the organization of your customer and who the decision makers are. And when the decision makers are attending the meeting, then we need to make sure from our perspective as the supplier that our decision makers are there. Because when the decision makers attend meetings, it's because they want to make decisions or they want to get decisions made. And therefore they are gathering information for decision making during these meetings. And therefore we need to make sure that the levels align so that both parties can get the desired outcome that they want from the meeting. And therefore the meeting can be effective and everybody can feel satisfied that they all got what they wanted from the meeting. And the last thing I would suggest is to capture the agreed outcomes. Okay, so we have a meeting, various issues are discussed, and then finally we've reached some sort of resolution or consensus. This needs to be captured either through a minute or a confirmation email, but it just closes the thread and the loop to make sure that all that time and all that effort and all that cost that was invested in putting people into cars to go drive to customers or to take hours out of their day to meet and discuss these issues at length resulted in an agreed outcome that is then captured and moved forward upon. I'd love to hear in the comments if customer meetings scare you, if you enjoy them. I'd also love to hear from you if you thought that this was a helpful or productive session and you will do better in the preparation for your future customer meetings. I make content on business, career growth, entrepreneurship, a couple of videos a week, so look out for those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.